show that they can get developed under a scheme. I love to go, and I was down in Texas, and I just love the atmosphere. I loved seeing, Wade Phillips coach that football team, and I believe they were going in to try and win the championship that week, or at least in the playoffs that week. So, congrats on all the success.
Thank you, man.
And you already know it. You might not have had that privilege of living this life, but it seems that you live life with the privilege to live life, no matter what it is that you're doing. You're so humble about it, and you create your own path, man. You create your own path, and it's so cool to hear the story behind it all.
Thank you. You got to. That's what we got to do, is work hard and create our own path, even if we don't know what it is. You got to have faith in, the work and the process.
You knew what it was. You knew what it was. The WWE, baby. The Attitude Era.
That's it.
We got to get into it, man. We got to talk some wrestling. Oh, iconic, man. Where do you even come up with this? How does it even come together?
Like, it was like, well, back then in the Attitude Era, keep in mind, that was before WWE was publicly traded. It was, well before owned by TKO, obviously. So we flew under the radar. And there was a point where when I turned heel in the late 90s, and I was mixing it up with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and we were going back and forth and having our matches.
Well,
that shit was bananas, because the golden days, because you could fly under the radar. And it reached a point, and I remember telling a guy who's a good friend of mine today, and he helps run a division of $7. His name is Brian Gewirtz, and he was one of the first writers ever for WWE. And we used to write my stuff all the time together. And I said, you know what, man? You know how lucky we are right now? He said, what? I said, we could say anything tonight to this crowd. We could sing. We could talk shit. I could talk in another language. I could, whatever it is. I said, it's whatever we want. And I said, there's a whiteboard. Let's write it. So the stuff about, whether it's if you smell.
You're getting me so fired up right now, dude.
Man.
I'm telling you.
It's like,
oh my gosh.
Jason, do you remember that time, right, in the Attitude Era?
Oh my gosh, that was
You know I was bringing it back. I was going to bring
that was good. That was good, baby.
But it was a special time, man. I love it back. That time was a very cool time. And it was also a cool time where there were just characters that were larger than life. And everything evolves and everything in ebbs and flows. And I get it. And I love pro wrestling. I will always love pro wrestling. But back then, that was special.
You made it what it is today, no doubt.
Yeah, man. That was a fun time.
What was life like as a WWE superstar? Like, we always talk about life as an NFL player.
Yeah.
How is it different in wrestling?
And I want to hear from you guys on this one. This is where you're on the road.
Yeah.
365 days. There's no season. It's hard. It's not apples to apples. It's when you're comparing NFL to WWE, but there is no season. You're in a different city every night. Our goal was to put on a good show, send the fans home happy, don't get hurt, protect each other's bodies.
Yeah.
I'll see you down the road. I'll see you at the next town. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, Travis, Jason, I'll see you in Arlington. And then the next night we're in Dallas, and the next night we're in Austin. Let's not get hurt. Let's take care of ourselves and send everybody home happy and injury free. But the problem is, in that world, and it's just the way that it is, but you guys know this, you're always injured, and you're always working through your injuries, and you're always letting pain be your guide, and you're always trying to protect yourself. And so while it was incredible, and the world of pro wrestling is incredible, and I love it, and what an opportunity it is, because you get to connect every night with a different crowd. And and the crowd in Dallas, that's a different energy than in New York. As you guys know, you go to these different cities, it's a different vibe, right?
A different world, baby.
Different world.
That's fun, though.
Kansas City is different than Miami. You name it. Philly is different, and it is fun.
Did you have any favorites? What were your favorite cities? Before, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Chicago, New York, nothing like the Garden, right?
Yeah.
Down in Texas, amazing too as well. Philly, what I loved about Philly, that's a heel town.
Dude, there is a lot of support. I know you know this, but for The Rock in Philadelphia, like, he is like beloved like no other.
Man, Philly's my town. That's why I came back last year, man, at that WrestleMania. There was nothing like it. So I think compared to the league, to the NFL is, there's no seasons, and also it's incredible, and it's dreams come true for all of us, but also it's tough, man. It's tough being on the road every night, because what that means is then it's tough on your body. You're getting banged up every night. You're working hurt every night, and you're trying to keep up. And also it takes its toll on marriages and on relationships. It's hard.
You know, when there's no season. I mean, you're all
season. But how does that compare, like, to you guys, when you guys are on the road every week? You're banged up. You're trying to.
We're actually not on the road every week. We're only on the road half of the season. That was one thing that was eye-opening to me, even just going into media. I travel more as a media member going to games than I did as a player, because every week you're going to a new stadium.
Right.
But I think it's a big commitment in season. You get one off day a week. So it's the same thing. You know, there's a really intensely busy time period.
Yes.
Which is 6 months, 7 months, and then after that's over, you get a lot of off season to, reaffirm all of these relationships and spend time with your families.
That's right.
Loved ones. So that's where it's different. The season is shorter. It's not 365 days, but for that shortened season, you're at the building every single day other than one day.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it sounds like the similarities are amongst the routines of it. You know, you want to have that professionalism to always make sure that you're at your peak.
Yes.
On the night, on game night, on wrestling night, or on when the TV's live, like, you just want to make sure you're being that for the organization, for the people around you. So I guess there is that similarity of, like, kind of just like the gruesome strain that you got to go through to have fun when the lights are on.
I got 2 questions for you guys.
Let's hear it.
Let's go.
Jason, when you retired,
yes,
and you go out on top, it's like, again, it's the dream. It's my dream. I was watching that from afar. I was like, man, it's amazing. You give this impassioned speech, you just, it's incredible. The next camp, and you weren't there.
Yeah.
Was that hard for you? I've always wondered that. Like,
absolutely, 100%.
Was it? Did you fall into, like, mini depression? Like, how did you work through that? Like, what happened? Like,
I don't know how to label it, to be honest with you. There's definitely part of it I would say would be, you really miss being there with the guys, and
was there a void that you had to fill?
For sure. And for every day for 13 years, I was a regimented person. Like, even in the off season, we talked about the season's only a certain short period of time. To be the best at anything, you're putting in work 365 days a year. So
that's right.
You get used to this, okay, Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing this, Wednesday, and you get into that repetition, and then you build all these relationships with people. And then training camp is the most heightened state of, like, hey, football's getting ready to get going.
That's right.
And I'm very fortunate I still live in Philadelphia, so I can still go to the building and get a little bit of it, but you're not in it. You're not going through the grind with your teammates, and you're not, I miss going out and busting my ass, being hurt and tired after a practice, and then going into the cafeteria and bitching about it with my buddies and trying to, like, hey, you get
at the same time.
Like, I miss all that so much. And with every successive year, and I've talked to a lot of guys that have retired, you miss less and less of it. The one time I still, like, get goosebumps before every game, when the national anthem plays and that kickoff's about to happen, there's, like, a very visceral connection that comes to you, and you start smelling the grass if it's a natural field. That I don't know. It's hard to think that that'll ever kind of go away. But
how did you feel?
Anyways,
that?
Yes,
like,
to answer your question, absolutely.
That's when you flip that switch, man.
That's when you flip that switch. But what's your flip switch these days? Is it?
I got a lot of things so my flip switch is, it's a good question. Trying to, let me see.
But probably, I would assume going on the road, right?
It's a different, there's no more physicality thing that you knew I had when I played the game.
Like the tactile thing where you can grab something. And,
yeah, and that was a different switch where it's like, okay,
violent
now I'm going
hands.
to try and...
Can't use violent hands out here in the streets.
Violent hands no longer help me.
That's right. He's got 4 little girls. Can't use violent hands.
Girl hands, I know.
Soft hands.
Soft hands.
You get fired up to either offer players help. I still go to the building and I still offer young guys support, and to be able to help them in their careers or wherever I can in some type of like mentorship level. You get fired up to be the best at whatever you're doing. Like now I get to operate in a more creative space than I really ever got to in the field of football, which has been fun and different. And I feel, and I felt last year in a lot of ways, you're almost like a rookie again. You're going into a new field, and instead of being a veteran where you kind of have all these things set in place, you know how to do everything, you know what works.
You feel that fear. You feel
now
that.
I was just going to ask him that. Were you scared?
You feel that, and you're trying to figure out, you know, how can I be the best at this new thing? What can I do? How do I study? How do I prepare? How do I, bring something new that other people aren't doing? So that's kind of what is probably the new switch. It's a little bit different than when you played. It's more of a creative kind of thinking about things from, you know, what can I do that's different and unique than what everybody else has been doing?
But it's still fulfilling for you. Yeah.
It is. It's fulfilling in a different way. I mean, I don't know that anything, quite frankly, is going to replace playing football in front of hundreds of thousands of people and millions of people on TV. But, you know, I think, you know, I got the privilege to do that for a long time. And at some point that time ends and my time was over, and I get fulfilled in different ways now. And I don't know that it's the same type of fulfillment as playing, but it's still pretty damn good. I'm still pretty damn fortunate to, have a good time. I still get to talk about football, a game that I love. I get fulfilled at home, being with my kids and my family.
Dude, I'm telling you, when I finally retire down the road, me and Jason are just going to be in the back putting the pads on for old time's sake. Getting that fulfillment back one time. Just violent hands, baby. Violent hands.
But think about this and Trav, I have a question for you too as well, is while nothing will ever take the place of putting on the pads and strapping up that chin strap, putting on the helmet, and there's 100,000 people. Nothing will ever take that place. But think about everything that you're doing now and how you've applied all of your mastery skills to become one of the greatest of all time, champions, etc., to what you're doing now, but also thinking about all the guys who maybe are on the cusp. Hey, I got about another year or two left in me, but look how he's doing it. Right? Look how Jason's doing it. I want to do it like that. So you're creating, I think, already a really cool blueprint for athletes who are like thinking about like, what's my next step? The way he does it, I want to do it like that.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I've been following this big Bears footsteps my entire life, man. I went to Cincinnati. I followed him into the football world, then went to Cincinnati. Then we both got drafted by Andy Reid. I've just been following his footsteps everywhere I go.
Everywhere, man.
He's paved the way for me to make a living my whole life.
He passed me a long time ago,
paving the way for so many. Trav, I got one question for you, and the question, I was thinking about this earlier, the question about pressure. Right? You will go down as one of the greatest of all time. And everything you got going on. By the way, congrats to your girl on the weekend. What a crushing weekend she had. Is awesome.
Life of a showgirl.
Life of a showgirl. My daughters are listening to the album now. It's very cool. Well, pressure, not only pressure as a professional athlete, especially once you become the greatest on the planet, and the pressure to go back there, because now there's no, if you don't win that, become the greatest, and you don't become Super Bowl champions, then it's like us at Miami. If we didn't win the national championship, all right, that's our season's a failure, really. It doesn't matter what our record is. How do you handle that kind of pressure? Because you have the pressure of a pro athlete, which is fucking insane. But then the pressure of being in the spotlight, in another kind of spotlight that's so big. Is there a thing? Did you notice a shift? Did you feel a shift?
I definitely noticed a shift, but I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been so blessed, so fortunate. My love for this game and my attention to detail and the scrutiny I have on myself has been more pressure than anybody could put on me.
Mm.
And I've just always loved to find that answer, find the reason why I'm not having success, find the reason why I lost on this rep. So the year in, year out, I feel like the only thing that I really got to like channel is just my energy for that day. You know, the attention to detail, the focus, the professionalism, that's always going to be there. But how am I coming into work? Am I coming into work enjoying what I'm doing? Is that infectious? Is that going to make the guy next to me want it just as bad as I do? Is it going to make the guy next to me, you know, go that extra mile when he sees me going the extra mile? You know, how can I make this team better from the inside out? And I think that's one of the biggest things that's how you kind of handle pressure of the outside world, is to just grind your fucking tail off inside. And I was saying I've been blessed in terms of all the other pressure, the worldwide pressure and everything. Is I've been so blessed to have the love. I look at it as a blessing, but I look at the life that I have as a blessing because of the people that I have in it.
That's
having
right.
a support system as my family, having a support system like my brother and Taylor and all my friends that I've known since I was in fucking preschool, and we were rock bottom each other on the fucking recess.
Do you have any idea how many times we got called to the principal's office, rock bottoming people in their freaking wood chips? Jason Kelce in the principal's office. Jason Kelce in the principal's office.
But I feel like when you got that ecosystem, and I've been so fortunate to have that ecosystem my entire life. You know, my family's been there for me every step of the way. My friends have been there for me every step of the way. And that pressure, that outside pressure, doesn't feel as, you know, tough
it
when
feel
you have all that at
daunting
the house.
when you have
exactly, it's not as scary. I don't have to think about how the world's viewing me, because the people around me and the loved ones around me know exactly what's real. And you always got to separate that reality from the tabloids and the worldwide media has to talk about it and is going to find something to say about it more than what's real and how you're living your life.
Man,
sure.
So the noise, it's the home anchor that allows you to block out all the noise.
Yeah,
man,
and the fact that I get to do something I love, you know, that'll always kind of, I think I'll have to find that fulfillment that you guys were just talking about. I actually want to ask you that same question.
Yeah, I was about to say, throw it right back at him. I mean,
you're stepping away from the WWE full time. Like that was such a huge part of like your life.
It was at the height of like wrestling, like in worldwide. I felt like the Attitude Era was just peaking, and you step away and go into acting. What was that like? Did you find fulfillment right there in the same way?
No, not in the same way. I thank you. That's such a good question, man. There's nothing, just like you guys with the football field. You line up, you put your hands in the dirt. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like getting in the ring, and there's 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 people. You could connect with them. You could tell a physical story from beginning to end. There's nothing like that. I love it and I miss it. Yeah. But, you know, I had the voice. There was just, hey, there's more. You could stay here and do what you love, or you could get out of this zone, which is comfortable. And by the way, I get it. We know that. Like when you're in a comfort zone, it's called comfort zone for a reason. It feels good.
Yeah.
But especially if everything is going well and everything is aligned and you're paying bills and everything is going well. But there was, I wanted to grow. That's it. I really wanted to grow, and I wanted to do more, and I wanted to challenge myself in ways that I hadn't been challenged. I'd not been to Hollywood. I didn't know shit about Hollywood other than, well, I love movies and I'd love to make movies. I'd love to test myself. And so in 2004 was my last WrestleMania, and I quietly tried to, as much as I could, just quietly transition and step away. And that was scary because, as you were saying, like I was lucky enough I was on top.
Yeah.
It was like Jim Brown, like, I think
that's a great reference.
No doubt.
Like Jim Brown, you know, he's like leading the league in you know, yards, and he's like, hey, I'm going to go to this other thing and challenge myself.
The face of it,
He was the face of the league, and that's what I did. So it was scary at first, but ultimately, you know, I realized like it's scary and it's okay. You know what also helped, and I was really lucky about this, is I was doing okay in terms of money, and I wasn't chasing the dollar. And I wasn't like, hey, I'm fucking starving here, and I have $7. Like, those days were behind me, so it's like,
Sure.
I don't have to worry about that, and then I could just concentrate on acting and acting coaches, and my first role in Hollywood as a leading man wasn't, hey, here's a small little independent role. This is Scorpion King franchise.
We're going straight to Blockbuster, man. Come on now.
Going straight there. It's sink or swim, your baptism
Let's
by
go.
fire. So I was really fortunate that, I kicked off my career in that way.
Well, you built up a legacy ready for that to kick off, and that's hats off to you. That had to be a daunting decision, but you nailed it, brother. And I
Thank
got
you,
you, as
man.
you said earlier, your dad did not encourage your wrestling career. Very much was mad at you. Your daughter recently now with NXT as the on-screen GM. Are you supportive of this? Where do we stand as dad this time?
What happens is, like, we're in control of where the dominoes stop falling.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in my world, while my dad didn't approve at first, and we got into a massive fight, we had a complicated relationship, my old man. But, I was in control of where that domino was going to stop falling. And with my daughter, Simone, she's my oldest daughter. Like you, I'm a girl dad. I have 3 daughters, 24, 9, and 7, all different age ranges. You'll get there, Trav, soon. You'll see the blessings.
That's right.
And but with my daughter, man, I was so proud. But here's the cool thing: when she came to me, and she came to me at 16 and said, "I want to do what you do. I love this business just like you do, and I want to do it." At 16, so she became the youngest
Wow.
WWE signee at 16.
Whoa.
She was going to NYU. She gave me a call, me and her mom, and she said, "I want to pivot a little bit. I'd like to go directly into WWE NXT and start training down there in Orlando."
Yeah.
And you don't have to ask me twice. I'm like, okay, hey, I got you. But here's the great thing. The most beautiful thing about this is
The podcast was crafted as a cozy, unfiltered chat blending sports, music, and the personal stories of high-profile guests. Host Johnson, celebrated for his easygoing yet perceptive style, welcomed Travis Kelce to discuss the recent NFL season, his journey in football, and the big shifts happening in his personal world. The discussion kicked off casually, covering training routines, on-field demands, and the intense pressures elite athletes endure. But the tone shifted noticeably when Johnson steered toward Kelce's high-profile relationship with Taylor Swift. He posed the question many fans were eager to hear answered. How has your life changed now that your romance with Taylor has drawn non-stop media spotlight? Kelce gave a soft chuckle, leaned back, and took a brief pause before replying that things had grown a little noisier, yet they were also brimming with genuine joy and fresh inspiration. Then came the surprising turn. After reflecting for a few minutes on how Swift had infused his life with positive energy, Kelce looked directly at Johnson and said, "By the way, I think you should come to our wedding." For a moment, Johnson assumed it was playful banter. But Kelce stayed serious, no smile breaking through, and added earnestly, "I'm serious. You've always treated me and Taylor with real respect. If your schedule allows, we'd love to have you there." The studio went quiet. The production crew behind the glass seemed to freeze in anticipation. That exchange has since been hailed by many as one of the most authentic and heartfelt moments ever captured on a podcast. Johnson, usually unflappable, was visibly floored. He lowered his head for a few seconds, hand over his mouth, then let out an emotional laugh. "You're leaving me speechless," he managed, his voice cracking slightly. "This means a lot to me, more than you know." In all his years hosting, with countless interviews spanning athletes, musicians, actors, and beyond, Johnson admitted this kind of raw, on-air moment was exceptionally rare. Being personally invited to the private wedding of one of the planet's most talked-about couples was beyond anything he'd ever anticipated. For long-time listeners, the gesture wasn't entirely out of left field. Johnson and Kelce had built a rapport over years of interviews and shared sports events. Though mostly professional, their connection showed consistent mutual respect. Johnson had publicly defended Kelce from online backlash during the early frenzy surrounding his relationship with Swift, notably saying in a prior episode, "We sometimes forget celebrities are just people. They deserve love and happiness like everyone else." Kelce later shared how much that support had meant to him. The intersection of sports and pop culture has made Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's romance one of the most captivating crossovers in recent years, and moments like this only deepen its appeal.